Boom, we got a cat. Actually, we have like 100 cats and a dog, and they all drink. They love their cocktails. They call them cat tails and dog tails. No, I'm kidding. Here we are, season 4, episode 8, in case you're counting at home. And this is not our drink tonight. However, Shelby made it. It's lovely. A little vodka, soda, fresh muddled raspberries, I believe.
And mint.
And mint. God bless. This is what we do on Sundays. And Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, not Fridays. We go somewhere else for that. And Saturday. Anyway, here we are. It's the Blue Monkey Quarantina. It's Quarantine Cocktail Show. I already told you, season 4, episode 8. I know what I'm doing here. It's National Cherry Pie Day, for God's sakes. I've got your cherry cocktail. Paul, I saw the hint. It was a moth. It's a cherry moth. I'll explain later. It's all good. Now I'm even going to talk about Bob. Who? Bob. Yeah, Bob's in the show tonight. Come on, folks.
What about Bob?
What about Bob? What about Bob? All right, you guys ready? Blue Monkey Quarantina. Only business. Monkey business. And moths. Cherry pie.
And pets.
And pets. And
National Pet Day.
And National Pet Day. And here we go. Yeah. And here we are. Folks, are you ready? We'll see if it's working. Who knows? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I work. Sometimes I don't. All right. Enough of that. Put that cocktail away, Paul. Tell us. I got 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes of cocktail history and a good drink, and I'm on my way. Well, here it goes. 1923. So it is true. We are doing the Xanthia quarantine cocktail. So the Xanthia cocktail. Are we working, by the way?
Yes, we are.
We're working.
We are.
Woo!
We are working on several channels.
Here we go. All right. So the Xanthia cocktail
Hi, Monica.
goes back to 1923. Harry McAlone in the ABCs of Cocktails, fancy book name. He is believed to have first published it. There's a little debate because it was a little bit of a different drink. And in 1930, Harry Craddock, Savoy Cocktail Book, our man, he also publishes it. So this drink has history. My guess is you've never gone to I think I'm going to order a cocktail, but it's a good one, I promise you, and I'm going to tell you how it's tied. So, Xanthia, so I feel like I'm about to have a little moment from my big fat Greek wedding. You ready for this? So, Xanthia, the root word xanthe or xanthos actually means yellow or blonde or fair-haired. And Xanthia actually was a name of several Greek goddesses. And so many people believe that the Xanthia cocktail is named after this wonderful Greek mythology. And it is incorrect. No. I have a mother reason, and it's much more a mothing.
Really, that's a stretch.
Was that, how bad?
That's pretty bad.
Was that bad?
That's pretty bad.
Man, I really worked on this too.
Yeah,
I mean, I like wrote them out. I was like, this is it. Of my 8 minutes, I took 30 seconds to put those together.
You need to walk away from that one now.
Anyway, yeah, it's named after a moth. Yep. You may not realize it, but the moth we're talking about is the Xanthia togara, better known as the pink board sallow. Pink board sallow. And it's basically a yellow moth with kind of these bright red spots on them. Look on Facebook, you can see the hint. Anyway, that's it. That's the moth. And yes, I'm serious. Oh, honest to goodness, that's what it's named after. And it's because of the ingredients. Gin, doesn't matter. But we have in it yellow chartreuse, which is the yellow moth, fair-haired, blonde, all that. Notice the t-shirt. And also, and this is how I tie the whole night together, this is what I do, Cherry Heering from, where, Shelby? Denmark, right here, 1818. The stuff is going way back, and that's our drink. So I'm going to mix it for you. But one thing to know, some people will actually layer this drink. I'm not going to do it for you. And they'll put it, and you'll actually see the yellow and the red and the clear levels on it. But back when it was made, it was mixed, and that's what we're going to do. And well, let me start, and then I'll explain. So it's a mixer. We're not shaking it. So it's a nice even, my favorite drinks, right? 1-1-1. We're going to go ounce of gin. You want a good botanical gin, something with a little bit of that herbal bite, you know? And we're going to go one for me, one for Shelby. And then we're coming in with our wonderful Yellow Chartreuse. Medicinal from the monks. It's wonderful. Very herbal. One for Shelby. And then the last thing, in recognition of National Cherry Pie Day, Cherry Heering. 1818. Yeah, that's how long everybody from Denmark has been an alcoholic. 1818, we were already producing our own cherry alcohol. Oh, look at this. One. Oh. And one. Folks, there it is. Now, there's one more piece to this drink. And this is about Bob. I told you. Yeah, what about Bob? So,
Sailing.
I'm sailing. I'm going to give you just a little bit of bitters history. We should do a show on bitters.
Someday I'll make my own bitters.
We will make our own bitters one day. But for now, I will tell you this. Historically, back in the 1800s, 1865, if you want to be correct, there were basically 4 bitter companies out there. And you may recognize Angostura, that was one of them. Peychaud's, boom, that was another one. Fee Brothers, I apologize, was another. And then there was a fourth. That fourth one was Abbott's Bitters. Now, you really can't find Abbott's Bitters anymore, and they have an interesting history. So all bitters went through a little bit of turmoil. So in 1906, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, actually got its start. And one of the first things they said is that if you had any sort of alcohol product, you had to have some sort of medicinal reason to be able to have it. And a lot of companies went out of business because back in the day, there were all these wacky things out there that had alcohol in them, but there was no medicinal value. Well, Abbott's, along with the other bitters companies, they actually found a loophole. And what they said is, basically, you can dissolve medicine in our bitters. So anything from a salt to an oil to whatever, you can use our bitters and it'll make it more pleasing to the palate. And so all of the bitters survived that early 1906 FDA issue. Fast forward 1920, Prohibition. Yeah, that was another one because there was no alcohol. And if you didn't need alcohol, you sure didn't need bitters. But they survived that as well. And then there was a third period. And there was 1954. It was the FDA again. Effing FDA. God bless them. And they knocked out Abbott's. And here's what they did. The FDA in 1954 said this. The Tonka bean is no longer allowed to be used in any sort of food or beverage. You may know the Tonka bean from its cousin, the Tonka truck, which was very popular with children all over the place. That's a different Tonka entirely. But the Tonka bean was outlawed because, I don't know, it made your liver bleed and things like that. It was bad. It was bad in rats. Anyway, the problem is the Tonka bean contained cordain, which is the flavor that gave Abbott its signature flavor of a bitter, and they couldn't reproduce it. They went out of business. That was it. So we went from 4 major bitter companies down to 3. Now, this is not Abbott's. What has happened, though? And what about Bob? Bob, to be clear, Jack and Robert, Robert, a.k.a. Bob, in 2004, they went out and they actually found an old bottle of Abbott's and tried it, loved it. So Abbott's, by the way, it was the signature bitter of Manhattans when they first came out. So if you want a real Manhattan, you really need to use Abbott's bitters. But again, they don't make them. So Bob and Jake went to town and tried, they found a recipe and they tried to recreate it with other things. They actually used chemistry, not chemistry, they did a what is it?
Spectrograph?
Spectrograph, yes. And they were able to actually analyze the recipe and break it down and come up with what they believe is almost an identical recipe. And so thank you, Bob, because what about Bob created this new Manhattan Abbott's Bitters that is now available.
So you're telling me Marmor needs to own Abbott's
Bitters? Bob's Abbott's Bitters. So we're going to go a couple dashes. And so just so you know, it's kind of got notes of vanilla as well as nutmeg. And that's really the big thing. Not the Tonka bean, nor the Tonka truck. And then Emergency. Emergency also made it through the 1906 FDA, made it through Prohibition. And thank God, Emergency was able to find a substitute for the Tonka bean. And it's still here. So little Emergency in there. And then folks are coming in. It's a stir. We're stirring. So how about that? Bob's Bitters. What's amazing is Bob also sells furniture and carpet. Bob's Flooring. I don't know if you're familiar.
Big Bob's.
Big Bob, yeah. I think this is Little Bob. Little Bob's Bitters. All right, there it is, folks. Then we're going to bring it into 2 coops. Garnish, always. We're going with the Luxardo Cherry. It's National Cherry Pie Day. Shelby's excited.
4 for me.
Oh, if I open them, then you'll be really happy. What do we got left in here? Well, we got a few. Let's get a few of these bad boys out here.
Looks like we need to go to the store.
We do. Folks, there is no reason to have any other cherry than a Luxardo Cherry.
Eat any other cherry.
Yeah. Boom. Oop, oop. Running away. Boom. Boom. Folks, there it is. Folks, that is the Xanthia. Yes, named after a moth. It's a mothing delicious drink. Is it good, Shelby?
I bet
Hold.
it is.
Oh. So, any drink with that Cherry Heering, it's got a really thick feel. Almost creamy, like kind of mouthfeel to it. And give a cat. Anyway, it's delicious. Herby.
Cat day.
Here we go. Folks, there it is. That is your Xanthia quarantine cocktail.
Chink. Oh, that's pretty.
That's pretty. Delicious. Pretty delicious is what it is. Folks, there it is. Here's what I leave with you. If you're at a point and you have to decide between cherry pie and Cherry Heering, go with the Cherry Heering. It's delicious, and it's from Denmark. And there's a reason they call us Great Danes. And on that...
I want to show pet cam.
Oh, pet cam.
Wait. Denver. There we go.
Nice.
Real.
All right.
Right.
Are we out?
Yeah, you've been talking about 15 minutes now.
Oh, I went over the 10. I'm sorry, folks. I love you, though, and enjoy the evenings.
Oh, that's what we're shooting for?
I'm shooting for 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were going for 15. That's why I wasn't giving you notes.
Give that a try. Here, give me a cheers. Careful.
Oh, now we're over 15.
All right, boom. Cheers. Try that.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Herbal.
That's and spicy and warm. Yeah.
I'm going to call it mapley, but it's not
no, there's
mapley.
mapley.
Is it? Yeah. So
Yeah. It's
anyway,
like maple
folks, just
syrup
go
and-
make it. Yellow Chartreuse, a little cherry herring, and some gin. What's wrong with all that? And Bob's Bitters. Bob, thanks for making the bitter better. Cheers and out. Love you.